This is the Thursday, November 11th edition of Slow Home Studio.
My name is John Brown, and this is Matthew North, and in today's online workshop, we're going to be answering a question from Carol.
And we're not exactly sure where Carol is in the world,
No, she didn't tell us.
but she did send us an email, so that was good, and she needs some help. She's thinking about buying a loft conversion project, and she'd like us to have a look at the floor plan.
So her question is, I need some help. I'm thinking about buying a new loft conversion in an old downtown building. The developer has completed some of the upgrades, and the black walls in the plan are already built, but I can still change the other walls. I don't really like the angle. Doesn't sound too good for me right from the very beginning, and would like to know what you would suggest. Carol. So here's the drawing that she sent us, clearly something from the developer, and we can see that he's already included the bathroom. He's got a closet here for the mechanical and probably the washer-dryer. There seems to be a built-in bench with some hooks here on the side, and then we've got the counter for the kitchen over on the end. And what she's wondering about is this enclosure. What I would have to say just from the beginning is I think it's quite nice. It looks like it's about 900, 800 square feet, maybe 1,000, probably not quite that big. But I think what's great about it is all of these windows, and the depth of the unit is such that you're going to have lots and lots of natural light.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
It seems like it's a really good spot.
And I think that the location of the front entry and where the bathroom is and the kitchen are relative to the other plan. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there's not an issue with that. I think
that's right. We've got a kind of zone back here.
Yeah, and the proportion's good and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's just how do you sort of get the bedroom to work and finish that little bit of framing. And I think, yeah, I agree with her. Those angled walls are a bit tricky.
Well, and it's weird because I don't really know what that's giving you.
No, I think they're trying to skirt around that column, and I think that's the issue. Is they've got that big structural column there, so they think by angling the wall, that's going to allow you to sort of walk around it. But I don't think that's really necessary. I think probably there's some way that you could do something else so that it didn't make the column feel like it was some sort of an intrusion.
That's right. So we've got two ideas for you, Carol. That depends how lofty you want your loft conversion to be. One of them has an enclosed bedroom, and the other one doesn't. So let's have a look at the enclosed bedroom first. And our sense is really that you should just take that angle out and just go right across there with a wall.
Yeah, and that makes sense of the column, I think, by saying, okay, well, here's this column. Let's use it as an element and end our wall against it. Makes perfect sense to me.
And then we would also enclose that on this side, using that as an opportunity to get a real closet in at the front entry.
Which would be great. And then you can use the other side for a bench.
That's
right. Still have hooks if you want to, but then you've got more storage and for guests and also for other stuff, because there's not a lot of storage in here. So.
No, and if you can sweet talk the developer, if you're going to do this plan, into reversing the door, that would be ideal, because then
that
what
would
you're
be
doing
great.
is you're opening
up into the entry space
rather than into the kitchen, and it helps deal with the fact that that kitchen is a little open right now.
Exactly.
So then just to finish this off, then what we would suggest is that you would put the door swing there, and that you would have a closet that you would slip in there for your bedroom.
Yeah, which would be perfect. And then your bed could go either in front of the window or in the alcove, and there'd still be enough room for circulation. And
that's right.
And that would be great.
Or it could go over on this side. There wasn't really enough information provided to know whether there was enough room in that.
Yeah, and I think that works really good, because the bathroom, again, is accessible both from the public side of the house plus as an ensuite, and that works great. The only thing I would add, I would see if we can add an island of some sort in the kitchen, just to kind of... And
you really need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you don't necessarily need any appliances or anything, but I think just to close the kitchen off and make a great place to sit, and that would be good.
Well, and what's nice about that is, given this and not having that angled wall, it means that you could actually put your focal point there, so that you could then organize your furniture more like this. With a chair there, and it actually works quite well from a flow point of view.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really, really good. That works good.
And I think it's also important to see that you actually gain some of that space, because look at that, where the way that the closet used to protrude into that, and it made this space in front of the bathroom a little bit wasted. Now you've got it all open like that, so I think it's a little bit better.
So this scheme makes it into a bedroom, like an enclosed bedroom. But then we had an idea of what we could do if we wanted to be more lofty. So
you want to draw that?
Yeah. Well, what we thought, I mean, this is just sort of a more loft sort of idea, building on what other people have sent in, is to have one of those beds that had the headboard storage behind them, so that you actually had the doors on this side, and it was more of an object that you kind of walked around. And then that way, it would just sort of float in space, but it would still enclose the bedroom area from the other space. I still, of course, want to put the island in there just to do that one little bit.
And you could also put a closet there.
Well, I think
then just make that thin and have it so that it could have a storage.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of saw this as being like, if it was that way, I would put the closet there as another built-in sort of block, and not go up to the ceiling and detail in a way, because it's going to interfere with the window. So you want to make it look like a piece of cabinetry that's just kind of plugged into space. And that would be, I would still put my TV and have storage and bookshelves and some cupboard doors and stuff for general storage on that side.
Yeah. So the bottom line, I think, Carol, is that this looks like it's a good place if it's something that you can afford, and and it's close to where you're working. It's already the reuse of an existing building. Sounds like a good idea to us. And then see if you can convince your developer to put a little bit, to change those walls around a little bit. It shouldn't be any additional cost, particularly if you go for the second scheme.
Yeah, I mean,
the first scheme.
Yeah.
Second scheme, you might want to just have him give you a credit for not doing the work, and then go talk to a good mill worker and or furniture maker and see if they could make that kind of headboard for you. It also means if you're not going to live there for very long, you could take that with you.
Yep. So if you have a question like Carol, be sure to send it in to us. We'd be interested to answer any design-related questions that you would have, and we will try to answer it in one of our online workshops.
See you soon.